Hello learners, welcome back to the course on AI in Human Resource Management. We move to the next lecture in this module. We'll be looking into using AI in enhancing employee experience. We have looked into HR chatbots, technological innovation specific to AI that is helping human resource management as a whole domain. We see that how it has turned the subjectivity into objectivity. Today we'll look into something which is more of a certain experience, how employee engagement can be enhanced, or how AI is making a change in the employee experience domain. I'm Dr. Abraham Serlaisak. I'm an assistant professor at the School of Business, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. Now, when you look into employee experience specifically, let's understand what do you mean by employee experience. We'll track down the evolution of that. If you look into the initial work culture, there was no significance actually or importance given for employee experience. People were looked as machines. They have to work, they'll be paid, and that's all. They have to go back, come again next day. But employee experience, or employee engagement, becomes significant, especially in the last couple of decades, especially when the human rights became the issue that came forefront, and people wanted to select the job in which they want to work, and they totally were restricted to all those oppressions and all those aspects. We have seen that elaborately in the labor welfare and industrial relations course altogether. But today, I like to introduce you to the evolution of employee experience. Tracking that will reach to a situation where AI has come into picture, and how AI is actually enhancing the employee experience. Let's look into that now. When you are looking into the employee experience per se, you have to understand that employee experience encompasses every interaction an employee has with their employer. So typically, you look into employee experience. How do you measure that? That would be the first question that would definitely come to your mind, because this is a latent variable, if you ask me. This is something which is difficult to measure. So in today's fast-paced and competitive business landscape, the concept of employee experience, EX, has emerged as a crucial determinant. So employee experience, please understand, encompasses every interaction an employee has with their employer. Let's say from the moment they consider a job opportunity, through their tenure and even beyond as alumni of the organization. So this particular holistic approach goes beyond the traditional frameworks of employee engagement and job satisfaction, recognizing that each touch point contributes to an employee's overall perception of their workplace. So historically, if you ask me, engagement specific to organizations, they have focused on this employee engagement aspect as a primary driver of workplace satisfaction. So you look into this terminology of workplace satisfaction. This is what has given impetus to the employee experience in general. Let's look into the key factors that fuel this evolution specific to global competition for talent. You look into a world where skilled professionals are in high demand. Organizations must differentiate themselves not just by salary, but by the value they offer through their employee experiences. There can also be some technological advancements. You look into the integration of technology in the workplace that has transformed how employees work, they collaborate, they communicate. So the expectation is now set for intuitive tools and platforms that enhance rather than hinder the productivity. Then you have the work-life balance as a critical measure. Sometimes there are people who talk against us, who talk against it, who try to undermine it, who try to say that work is everything, having work is the biggest, success of life. Whatever said and done, please note, without proper work-life balance, an employee's performance will not be optimal. As employees place greater importance on work-life integration, Organizations are challenged to create environments that support personal well-being alongside professional obligations. Another significant aspect could be the diverse workforce. Please note, with an increasingly diverse workforce, organizations must tailor experiences to meet varied expectations and needs. So it fosters an inclusive environment where all employees typically feel valued. Now let's look into the importance of employee experience quickly. As we have stated, it increases the employee engagement. There is no doubt about it. It enhances the retention rate. Please note, employees who feel valued and adequately supported are more likely to stay within an organization. So that typically reduces the turnover cost, preserving institutional knowledge altogether. We also see that there is a boost in productivity. When employees are satisfied with their experience, they are more likely to perform at their best. It contributes to overall productivity and definitely the organizational success. When you are looking into employer brand, please note, a positive employee experience translates into a strong employer brand, making it easier to attract top talent and enhancing the organization's reputation in market. You also have higher customer satisfaction. Needless to say, engaged and satisfied employees are more likely to deliver exceptional service to customers, which drives greater customer satisfaction and loyalty. So in summary, employee experience is a multifaceted concept that, if you ask me, encompasses various elements influencing an employee's journey within an organization. Now let's look into the role of technology to enhance employee experience and how we can actually understand the use of AI, or the inclusion of AI has enhanced the employee experience. Now, when you talk about artificial intelligence for that matter, it is transforming the landscape of employee experience by streamlining processes, by personalizing support, and by improving overall job satisfaction. So, as organizations strive to create a more engaging work environment, AI technologies play a crucial role in addressing the challenges posted by dilapidated or outdated systems and repetitive tasks that can actually lead to employee burnout. Let's start with communication and collaboration tools. When you talk about AI technologies undoubtedly facilitate better communication within teams by providing insights into employee sentiment and engagement level. So tools that analyze feedback from surveys or interactions that can help managers identify areas needing improvement, thereby fostering a more supportive work environment. You look into some of the instant messaging and video conferencing tools, tools like, let's say, Slack, Microsoft Teams, Zoom. They facilitate real-time communication and collaboration. We are seeing this on a day-to-day basis, regardless of the geographical location. So this fosters connectivity, this fosters teamwork. You look into some of the project management softwares, be it Asana, be it Trello, be it Monday.com. They streamline the workflows. It improves the task tracking, and it improves or enhances the collaboration among teams. You look into some of the remote work capabilities, needless to say, especially with respect to, let's say, cloud computing, we can definitely underscore the fact that technologies such as cloud storage and application services, they enable employees to work from anywhere. This offers that flexibility and improves the work-life balance which we were discussing previously. We also have some virtual office solutions, platforms that typically simulate a physical office environment, which allows remote teams to collaborate effectively, maintaining a sense of presence, a sense of engagement. Now let's look into the personalization and customization aspect. When you look into AI-driven tools that can create customized learning pathways tailored to individual employee needs and career aspirations, you have to understand there are typical employee portals and apps. Organizations can offer these personalized experiences through employee self-service portals or mobile apps that provide easy access to information, to resources, and benefits tailored to individual needs. You have some typical AI and data analytics also possibility. You have also the possibility of some AI and data analytics. Leveraging AI for, let's say, sentiment analysis and feedback can help organizations tailor the work environment, the support, the development opportunities to individual employee preferences, etc. Then there are situations of learning and development. When you look into specific aspects like e-learning platforms, technology enables continuous learning through online courses, what you're doing now. Webinars, training modules, accessible anytime, anywhere. There can be some personalized learning experiences. You look into AI-driven platforms that can analyze the skill gaps and create customized learning paths for employees, promoting career advancements or maybe at times the skill development altogether. There can be some feedback and engagement mechanisms, something which we have seen like pulse surveys. Please recollect our discussion on pulse surveys and such feedback tools. Technology allows for regular check-ins and surveys, helping organizations gauge employee sentiment and engagement levels in real time. There can be some recognition platforms, tools that typically allow for peer-to-peer recognition and reward systems which enhance employee morale and foster a positive work environment. There can be some specific tools associated with wellness and well-being programs, health and wellness apps. Organizations can provide access to apps that typically promote mental and physical well-being. It could include, let's say, fitness tracking, it could include meditation, it could include stress management resources, etc. So you talk about these aspects, typically you see that there are some typical work-life balance initiatives also. Technology that enables flexible work options and better workload management, allowing employees to balance their professional and personal lives more effectively. That will be a significant way to go ahead, especially with respect to wellness and well-being programs altogether. You also have some of the critical role of technology and AI specifically in onboarding and offboarding. You look into streamlining of the processes. Digital onboarding solutions could be a way to go ahead that can make the process smoother for new hires, providing them with necessary tools, necessary resources, information from day one. There can be some inclusion or some initiatives with respect to exit interviews, technology that can facilitate more effective offboarding processes, collecting valuable insights about employee experiences and areas for improvement. There can be some typical data-driven decision-making possibilities. You look into specifically this analytics and insights. You see that by leveraging data analytics, organizations can make informed decisions regarding the workforce planning, employee engagement, and performance management. There can be some typical predictive analytics, insights gathered from employee data that can help predict turnover, identify areas for improvement, and optimize the employee retention strategies. There can be some typical diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, even DEIB, belongingness. So bias reduction technologies like tools that assist in unbiased hiring and performance reviews that can contribute to a more equitable workplace. There can be some inclusive communication platforms, technology that can provide translation services and accessibility features, ensuring all employees feel included and valued. So in conclusion, technology can significantly enhance the employee experience by promoting engagement, by promoting collaboration, having the flexibility, and needless to say, the continuous development. Now let's look into the challenges and considerations with respect to that. See, every good step comes with the challenges we have seen, and that's the way we approach every single topic. With respect to this particular AI tools and specific to employee engagement and employee experience, you see that data privacy emerges as one of a great challenge. When you're looking into ensuring the security of personal information, that happens to be vital when you are implementing AI solutions. There can be bias in algorithms. You're talking about organizations which must be vigilant about biases that may arise from AI algorithms, which could affect the hiring or performance evaluations altogether. Employees may resist adopting new technologies sometimes. Effective change management strategies are necessary for successful implementation. You also look into the future of AI in enhancing employee experience. You see that there can be some emerging technologies. Gen AI is one such way to go ahead. There can be some potential of AI in shaping the hybrid work environment. You look into hyper personalization of employee experience. Please understand that AI will enable organizations to tailor experiences to individual employee needs more effectively than ever before. So, by analyzing data from various touch points which we have seen, AI can provide insights that allow companies to customize the learning paths, career development opportunities, and even compensation packages based on the personal preferences, based on the performance matrix. So this shift towards hyper personalization is expected to enhance employee satisfaction and retention rates as employees feel more recognized and valued in their typical roles. Now, when you look into the predictive analytics, please note AI's ability to analyze vast amounts of data will enable organizations to predict employee turnover and identify those at the risk of burnout. So, by leveraging behavioral analytics, organizations, companies can actually implement proactive measures to engage at-risk employees, such as, let's say, personalized support programs or adjustments in workload, or this particular predictive capability. This predictive capability is crucial for maintaining a stable workforce and minimizing the talent loss. And finally, you look into the integration of AI tools into daily workflows. This is one of the drastic change as employees increasingly adopt AI tools. Please note that both provided by their organizations and sourced independently, companies must ensure that these tools are integrated seamlessly into daily workflow. So this integration will help maximize the benefits of AI while minimizing the disruption. So organizations need to provide training and guidelines on using these tools effectively to enhance the productivity without overwhelming employees with technology. So the future of AI in enhancing employee experience is bright. There's no doubt about it. With the potential for significant advancements in personalization, efficiency, and engagement. So as organizations embrace these technologies, they must remain attuned to the evolving expectations of their workforce, ensuring that AI serves as a tool of empowerment rather than replacement. So many a time we see that this concern is what is running in the minds of employees specifically. You look into AI, there's a threat perception that or fear psychosis that says that AI is going to replace our job. No. Please note that there can be some adjustments, some job shifts, but that said, you are looking into a world which is adapting towards technology. Something as critical as employee experience, you never knew or you never thought of that AI could have an impact on that. This is what we have discussed today. You can see the change in recruitment, which can be objective. You can see the recruitment in performance metrics or performance evaluation, which is highly objective. You look into most of the domains which can have a objective parameter, but when you look into experience, employee experience, how do you actually make it objective? This is what AI is doing today. And this is the beauty of AI. If you look into aspect like employee experience, which otherwise was quite subjective, these things can be actually enhanced by AI. And this is what AI is doing to human resource management. And this is what we are interested in discussing with these courses. So we'll discuss more on AI in human resource management. I'll try to give some practical insights. We'll try to give some description of some software, some tools, and also we'll try to peep into what is happening in the world of research. What is the cutting edge research that is going in AI? That will be the last module for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to me patiently. See you in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.